Okay, picture this. You're looking across a stunning skyline, and honestly, you might feel for a second like you're standing in a historic European cathedral town. You've got these massive, breathtaking mosques towering over low slung buildings. But then you notice the lush, vibrant greenery and the warm breeze, and it hits you. You are undeniably in Southeast Asia. Today's explainer is all about Banda Aceh, an incredible Indonesian city sitting right on the northern tip of Sumatra. It's a place where really profound history, gorgeous geography, and a deeply complex culture all crash together. But there is one massive question that kind of defines this entire place. How on earth does a city come back to life after being swallowed whole by a 4-meter wave? Today, we're diving into how this unbelievably resilient city recovered from what was literally an unimaginable tragedy, the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, to become a must-visit destination full of triumph, natural beauty, and so many powerful stories. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with a quick welcome to Banda Aceh, dig into the romantic and bloody scars of its history, talk about the tsunami's destruction and the miracles left behind, explore some natural wonders and beaches, and then wrap things up with a few really practical travel tips.
Let's jump right into part 1. Welcome to Banda Aceh. Now, before you pack your bags, there's a crucial piece of cultural context you absolutely need to know. Aceh is actually the only province in all of Indonesia that officially operates under Sharia law. For you, as a traveler, that just means dressing a bit more modestly and observing local rules. If you show respect for their customs, you're going to find that your visit is incredibly safe, really educational, and you'll get to experience some of that legendary local hospitality firsthand. Moving right along to Section 2, the romantic and bloody scars of history.
To really understand this city, we kind of have to zoom out and look at its timeline. Back in the 1600s, Banda Aceh was an absolute powerhouse, going through a golden age under Sultan Iskandar Muda. Fast forward a couple of centuries to the 1870s, and the region is locked in this brutal colonial war with the Dutch. And then, of course, the modern era, which is forever marked by the 2004 tsunami. Let's look a little closer at those historical footprints.
First up is the Gun. It's this gorgeous, white, 3-story limestone structure from the 17th century. It kind of looks like a blossoming flower, or maybe a miniature mountain. And the story behind it? Pure romance, literally. Sultan Iskandar Muda had this built right in his palace gardens for his wife, Putro Pong. See, she was a princess from Malaysia, and she was dealing with some severe homesickness. She just really missed the rolling hills of her homeland. So the Sultan literally built her a miniature mountain so she and her ladies-in-waiting could climb it and feel a little more at home. How amazing is that? But we have to contrast that beautiful royal romance with the historical tragedy you'll find at Kerkhof Pilkut. This is actually one of the largest Dutch military cemeteries in all of Asia. During the incredibly fierce Aceh War in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the local resistance against colonial rule was just fierce. Today, over 2,200 Dutch soldiers are buried here, including the famous General Kugler. It's a stark, very quiet, beautifully maintained space that serves as a really powerful reminder of the blood that was spilled to fight for Espanese independence.
Which brings us to the heaviest but maybe most important part of our trip. Section 3, Tsunami, Destruction and Miracle. To even begin to wrap your head around the sheer, terrifying force of the water that morning, I just want you to think about this number for a second. 2,600 tons. That is the weight of the PLTD Apung 1. It was a massive floating steel diesel generator ship that was just moored off the coast. And here is the truly crazy part. 2.3 kilometers. When the tsunami struck, an enormous wave, estimated to be about 4 meters high by the time it pushed inland, picked up this 2,600-ton steel giant and carried it 2.3 kilometers completely onto dry land. It crushed homes as it dragged along and now rests permanently right in the middle of a residential neighborhood. The government actually decided to leave it exactly where it landed, and today it's this incredibly powerful memorial and museum park.
But amidst all that total destruction, there were these staggering miracles. Take the Baitulrahman Grand Mosque in the city center. It survived with minimal damage and ended up sheltering thousands of people. Scientists will tell you it was the deep concrete foundations and the arched Mughal European architecture that just let the water flow right through. But then you look at the Baitur Rahim Mosque right on the coast. It was built of European classical brick with 0 iron reinforcement. The entire village surrounding it was absolutely obliterated, yet this mosque stayed standing with only 20% damage. For the locals, These surviving mosques aren't just buildings, they're profound symbols of divine protection and resilience.
Oh, and you have to hear about this one. Over in the Lampelu neighborhood, there's another jaw-dropping symbol of survival. During the most chaotic part of the tsunami surge, a large wooden fishing boat was literally washed up and deposited entirely on the roof of a house. 59 people, many who couldn't even swim, scrambled up into this boat while the waters raged underneath them, and every single one of them survived. It's still sitting up on that roof today, and locals call it Noah's Ark.
Okay, let's take a breath and shift gears to some of these stunning natural scenery. Section 4, Natural Wonders and Beaches.
If you're heading here, you absolutely cannot miss the coast. Just a short drive from the city center, you've got Lamphuk Beach, which has these pristine white sands and fantastic waves if you're into surfing. Right next door is Lucknow. It's much quieter, super serene, and offers absolutely stunning sunsets over the Indian Ocean. And if you have an extra day or two, you've got to take a short ferry ride from the port over to Wet Island, also known as Sabang. It's this incredible tropical escape that genuinely boasts some of the most spectacular, world-class scuba diving in all of Indonesia. But hey, the wonders aren't just out on the water. If you head inland, thrill seekers and nature lovers can dive into the lush rainforests of Gunung Luser National Park. This pristine jungle is actually one of the very last places on Earth where you can trek and have up-close wildlife encounters with the endangered Sumatran orangutan right out in its natural habitat. It's a real bucket list experience. All right, let's get down to the logistics. Section 5, Practical Travel Tips. First up, a bit of a reality check regarding the language barrier. If you're used to backpacking around those super heavy tourist spots in Southeast Asia where English is just everywhere, Banda Aceh is gonna feel a bit different. English is pretty rare outside the major hotels. Now, the locals are incredibly warm, friendly, and curious, but having an offline translation app like Google Translate ready on your phone is absolutely essential for everyday things like ordering food or asking for directions. As for getting around the city itself, it's actually highly digital and surprisingly efficient. They have this great local bus system, but a heads up, they don't accept cash on board. So, step 1, just pop into a local mini-mart like Indomaret and buy a Mandiri e-money card. Step 2, hand the cashier some cash to top up your balance. Step 3, head to a bus shelter, figure out the map, and just tap your card to ride. The whole system runs on color-coded corridors that connect all the major tourist sites, the mosques, and the tsunami memorials. It's super cheap and a brilliant way to see the city. So what's the big takeaway from all this? I think it's summarized perfectly by this quote right here. Banda Aceh is a city reborn from its ashes, stepping out from the shadows of disasters and wars. The profound resilience of the Acehnese people is really the beating heart of this entire destination. They took some of the heaviest history imaginable and built a vibrant, welcoming, and safe city right on top of it. So, after hearing about all of it, the romantic royal gardens, the intense colonial wars, the unimaginable power of the tsunami, those miraculous survival stories, and the breathtaking beaches and jungles just waiting to be explored, are you ready to pack your bags and see how this incredible city comes alive with your own eyes? Let that sink in for a bit. Thanks for hanging out with us for this explainer, and we will catch you on the next one.